Hey, what's going on YouTube? We have the World of Visions event, the fleeting fate of the Jumi or the Jummy or the whatever it is. And the final fights came out this morning, really last night. But I didn't really get a chance to do any recording. I was in bed when it happened, and I went ahead and played it and got the rank 1 clear. And now it's like, a day into it, and it's time to do my video on it. So I've worked out 3 different ways that I'm gonna show you how to get a perfect score against this boss. We're gonna do a heavy earth team, a budgety wind team that's kind of interesting and fun in my opinion, and then just like my 1-turn knockout farming team that's also earth damage. So we're going to show you all 3 different ways to do that, and we're going to start with the heavy earth team. I will say this, compared to previous World of Visions events, this one was really easy, and I don't know if it's just because like global units exist, or like this one like was just so delayed that like we're just like blowing stuff out of the water with it. But like honestly, I don't feel like this is that difficult. I have seen some people struggling with with capping though, so hopefully this does help. But I recognize that the large majority of people out there probably not having too much difficulty with it, but maybe you'll find it interesting just the same. So let's go ahead and get into it, and we'll take a look at the first clear. As you can see, this is I do have a rank 1 on it, and I've done it multiple ways here, and this is the first team we're going to start with. So we've got heavy earth support from Tsukiko and Sylvie, and just like really high end damage dealers. And we're just going to go into it and take a look, and then we'll talk about the gear and stuff in just a moment. As we go, if there are substitutions or things that I think we should change or add, I will talk about those as well. So the boss actually starts by getting some brakes and stuff put on, which is like really dumb in my opinion, because it makes it hard to like kind of prepare, but it's okay. We're going to start out with Tsukiko, just doing Blessed Omamori, Maiden's Consecration Earth, and Mandala Earth. Very nice. Get that fox floating up there, I love it. For Sylvie, we're going to go ahead and shift and just do offense and defense, and then just like hit the boss. It doesn't really matter that much. We're going to be doing some buffs in just a minute. Offense and defense, and then the Marion's Blessing Earth, because we need 3 turns to power that up. The defense is going to give us 5 stacks of mitigation of Mirage for 5 turns, so that's going to take care of us very nicely for the first 3 turns, and we're going to kill on turn 3 in all of these runs except for the turn 1 one, so that's going to cover us from all the AoE damage. We're good to go. Esther is just going to Energizing Bunny and Bolting Impact twice. Doesn't really do that much damage because she's not chaining, thankfully. There we go. We are doing a little bit of damage. Chizuru is going to go ahead and Stone Pulverizer for a Stone Killer buff, which I know there's a little bit of overlap here. Sylvie does it, Esther does it, Chizuru does it, whatever, it's fine. Kaito's going to break with his Crashing Wave. And then Sky has not very much to do because of the gearing options that I have. She's just going to Sharp Spear focus just to break the boss. Doesn't really do anything in this instance. She just has to sit here for a couple of turns. AoE damage, we are fine. Sylvie's technically geared for counter, and you don't need it. It just doesn't. She can be totally unequipped and doesn't matter for this particular fight. All right, turn 2. Kaito is going to downshift, and he's going to use Taiva's Spirit. Chizuru is also going to use Taiva's Spirit, and Esther is just going to use Calm Before the Storm to get ready. Tsukiko is also going to use Magic Boost Plus from Dark Rain. Sylvie is going to Gravel Egg for a better Earth Imperil, and Stone Killer, Cracked Stone. I've been putting it on Chizuru. And then go ahead and use I've Got Your Back as well, again on Chizuru. We're kind of leaning into Chizuru for the damage here. Go ahead and use our Taiva's Spirit, folks. Magic Boost Plus. Let Esther hit the boss a little bit. And then Sky really has nothing to do, so she's just going to go ahead and Sharp Spear focus. AoE damage, we're still miraged, and Sylvie provokes the light attack. She's totally fine. And there we go. We're prepped and ready. To start, Sylvie's going to use Leaping Love to just modify her boost and LB damage buff and everything like that. And then pretty much everybody is just going to attack all at once. Tsukiko's going to do it. Sky's going to do it. Oh, we need to shift Tsukiko first. Destructive Earth, not constructive. Kaito's going to shift. And Great Wave Assault. Esther's going to LB. Chizuru's going to shift and LB. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to send Tsukiko just a couple little seconds first, and then send everybody else after. Just because I like to let her get the benefit of the Earth Imperil as long as she can, and try to get the benefit of it. If she doesn't get it, it's okay. But, you know, Esther's fields doesn't really work very well with Tsukiko's, so it's just, you know, it's whatever. I'm going to send her first just in case. The most damage I've gotten off of this clear, or this team, is around 17 point something billion. So, like, over 17 billion. So we'll see how we do. Here goes. Big hits in there. We'll take a look at the damage breakdown, too, as we look at the gear. 17.3. So that's definitely bigger than the first run that I ever did with this team, and not the highest that I've seen either. Kind of in the middle. We'll take a look at the damage breakdown though. See who carried it. Chizuru and Tsukiko, as we kind of expected. You know, Kaito is definitely more of a breaker and chainer, and not much in the damage department, unfortunately. So, but there you go. So well over the cap, we're doing fine there. Take a look at the gear, and then we'll move on to the next ones. Because the next ones I think the other two are more interesting. Her base form doesn't really matter. She does have Magic Boost Plus, and then, you know, kind of whatever gear I had left over from a previous trial. Here's where she really shines, is she's got, you know, high magic. This is just LB damage. It's kind of unnecessary, honestly. I guess I could take it off and give her something else for higher magic. Other people are wearing the good magic clothes that we have, so this is the best I got. I'm just gearing her for magic and all the evocation damage stuff that she needs. You know, get her where she needs to be. Okay. And then Sylvie, I've got her just in the shift form. She's got, you know, provoke. She's got evasion, and she needs some light resistance to absorb the single target physicals. Otherwise, you know, she takes a little bit of damage, but who cares? She's fine. Sky is geared kind of like so. We've got Titus's Scar. We've got, you know, Stone Killer, LB damage. She's got a Greatsword on to take advantage of the Greatsword Imperil that we have going on. She's not focusing on jumps in this build, so she's just kind of geared like that. There we go. Kaito, in the base form, just has her own old school STMR and Tyvus Spirit base, or the shift form where he does his damage. He's got, you know, some Stone Killer, a little tiny bit, LB damage, whatever, tiny little bit, double hand. He's not really geared for damage here. He's just here to help us chain. You know, he's not as important. He's bringing the basic Greatsword Imperil, but he doesn't have to because Esther's here to do her own. Speaking of Esther, here we go. She's geared like so. Stone Killer really easy for her. LB damage really easy for her. Doesn't have max true double hand. We probably could have if we wanted to. She's got the chain speed boost thing. There you go. Chizuru in the base form has her Tyvus Spirit and then some evasion stuff. Whatever, doesn't really need it. Sylvie protects us and the Mirage stacks protect us. And then her shift form, she's just geared for damage. You know, honestly, I could have probably given her. Oh no, Esther has the Ruler's Crown. So yeah, just give her the best attack stuff you've got. And then mine's EX2, so she does need Magisters. And then otherwise just Stone Killer, which she gears really naturally for. LB damage is Stone Killer. That's all you really need. She doesn't do. She doesn't do the rest. She is wearing cool smile, because I think that's fun, and it's good for her. So there you go. That was our easy, totally easy wind team or earth team. We're now going to shift over to wind, which is I love this one. This is more fun. So rather than just blowing it up massively, we are going to hit the cap. It's going to be a little closer. There's a little bit of RNG, but notice that we're taking a really old Neovisions unit. We're taking We're taking 2 7-star units. And then, you know, some good DPS. These two, Sky and Chizuru, are going to carry it. And let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and load up my energy here because we got a couple things to do. So this one's a little more intensive. And the order of these actions does matter. So when it matters, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Ferris is going to start here, and she's in the shift form. She's going to use her Magnus to fill her LB, and then just use breakdown and fast attack. The Moogle and Zon are just going to chain Stardust Ray to try and fill LB gauge for Zon. Cool. Sylvie is going to offense and defense again. Again, she's giving us the Mirage stacks are going to help us survive. And then she's just going to hit the boss with Paladin Strike. We're not doing weakness damage because we don't have elements yet, but it doesn't really matter. She just needed something to do, and other stuff was later, so yeah. We're hoping to get, yeah, LB gauge full. Nice. Okay. Chizuru is going to, in the shift form, use her Spring Wind Blade to start powering up over the course of 2 or 3 turns. Sky is going to use Sharp Spear, Severe Squall, and Overcast Skies. She's doing a jump build. AoE. We don't care. This is where the order matters a lot. Ferris is going to start us off. She's going to use her base form LB to put up the wind boosting damage field. And we're going to go ahead and use Moogle of Narshmog to use Wind Rhapsody to put an enemy side Wind Imperil in place, and then hit the boss twice for some effective attacks. Notice now we have Boost Wind Physical on this side and Reduce Wind Resistance on this side, so we've got a lot of good stuff stacked up. Chizuru is going to use Orochi Blade for a Wind Amp for the whole party. Sylvie is going to Cracked Stone on Sky. I've got your back on Chizuru. And then hit the boss with her Bolting Strike move. Okay. Zon is going to Reflector. He's going to Critical Mirror Sky to grab the Stone Killer. He's going to Critical Mirror Chizuru to grab all the buffs we just put on Chizuru, and then project them to the whole party. So now everybody has Sylvie's really good Stone Killer buff. And then Sky's going to jump. Again, AoE damage. Single target light damage to Sylvie. She is resisting it, so we're totally fine. Alright, we're ready to burst and kill this thing. Chizuru is going to be doing her LB. Ferris is going to use Claw the Dragon. Moogle is going to use Lightning Bolt Barrage. Zon's going to use his LB. And we're bringing Zon mostly for the borrowing and stealing and sharing of buffs, but also because he chains Extreme Nova by himself, and so he's going to chain really nicely with our party to help us get the 100 hits. And then Sky's going to land, so we're going to start with Sylvie's Leaping Love for the big LB buff for everybody. It's only going to affect 2 of our people, but, you know, stats and LB buff is good. Plus modifier boost, always good. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send Ferris, Moogle, and Zon first. Chizuru to come in second and kind of keep the chain going. And then Sky is going to cap. So we will go, it goes like this. It goes those 3, Chizuru, Sky. I have seen between 10.8 and 12.7 billion damage. We'll see how we did here. 10.6. So it actually rolled kind of low on the variance. We'll take a look again. It's kind of surprising. Looks like some people rolled low. Chizuru rolled really low, so that's the problem, is she did roll kind of low. We'll try it again. We'll try it again. Because I want to show that it caps. And we'll just do that whole order again. Breakdown, LB fast. I've gotten pretty quick at it, so I won't repeat all of it. Some options for you though, like you know, there's not really a whole lot else that does a wind field for both sides. So like technically there are better wind imperils. You know, Emperor has a better wind imperil. Sky could be, you know, geared a little bit differently. Chizuru could be EX3. But like I said, this does do it. I just like that Zon can share the buffs and then chain Extreme Nova. Makes it very, very flexible. There we go. Stone. I've got your back. Hit the boss. A Roshi blade. And reflector. Wait for everything to finish, and we're good to go. And Sky will jump. Try this again. I have gotten it to work, so I want to show that it works. That looked a little better. Chizuru looked to be doing, or it looked like she did about 1 billion more damage on the final hit than she did the first run, so I think we're good shape. Yeah, there we go. Not my absolute best run, but it does work. Just a little bit of variance. Not in the survivability though. That's the thing. Survivability is pretty easy. It's about doing the damage. So here we go. Let's see how we did. Sky did pretty good, and Chizuru did average, I would say. The most I've seen her do is, I have seen her do over 5 billion by herself. So, you know, in Sky I've seen do over 7 billion. So there we are. But this is, you know, pretty normal for this run. And let's take a look at the gear. And then we'll do the fun one. Just the farming one. All right. Ferris's gear does not matter. She's just wearing a sword. And then she's got Eye of the Dragon to help her do Extreme Nova chaining. There you go. Not even wearing a vision card. Shift form is just wearing a sword and her own, you know, just their own equipment as much as possible. Sylvie is just wearing, you know, whatever stuff in both forms. She does have Provoke, so she's got Danger Gets the Blood Pumping and Durandal, Moogle Charm. However you want to get Provoke is fine. It's up to you. And then just have, again, Light Resistance. And her Mirage stacks are going to cover the rest. She stayed in the shift form the whole fight. Sky is in the shift form the whole fight, and she's geared with a spear, and all of the jump gear and the modifier boost stuff. So like the Dragoon Helmet, Kimari's Pendant, Berserker Dress Sphere, her own intrinsic, Indestructible Light, Rykard's Vision card. So she's geared for jump. We're jumping, but we've got Stone Killer most of the way. We've got 275 stone, 800% jump, and then just like the modifier boost for jump. And that's how she does it. Very cool. Moogle is just wearing his own STMR and Lightning Fast Legend. And yeah, we did just fine. Zon is just wearing TMRs and STMRs. And Chizuru is in the shift form the whole fight and is geared out for as much Stone Killer and LB damage, and true double hand as we could. And mine's EX2, so she has to wear Magisters or get, to chain cap up from somewhere. And again, cool smile. Now, the next one is the one-turn KO bonus farming team that we're doing, and it looks like this. So we've got, we've got Tsukiko, basically geared the same way she was in the other clear. Sylvie's gear does not matter. It's pretty much irrelevant because she's going to be killing the boss. We're going to be killing the boss on turn 1, but she's wearing the Obsidian Bracer. Lord of Light is just kind of here. Technically geared for Stone Killer and LB damage, and true double hand, but doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, whatever. There you go. Sephiroth's vision card, because whatever. Hawkeye is in the shift form and is wearing an earth weapon, but then also has Eye of the Dragon. And yeah, I just kind of put whatever on him. He's not contributing much to damage at all. We'll come back to Angela. Duran is the same thing, wearing an earth weapon, not really contributing damage to at all, but technically is geared for Stone Killer, whatever. And then Angela is geared for true double hand, magic, LB damage, and then Stone Killer as much as we could. She doesn't really gear for it that well, but there you go. Okay, and we're going to kill this in one turn. And this is the team that I'm using for farming. All those units are just there because they're bonus units, and that's the whole reason I brought them. So in this clear, we're leaning heavily into Tsukiko, so she's just going to use her LB. Hawkeye is going to use Claw of the Dragon. Duran is going to use Lightning Bolt Barrage. Angela is going to LB. And we're going to use Gravel Egg. Okay. We're going to use I've Got Your Back on... We use I've Got Your Back on Tsukiko. And we use Cracked Stone on Angela. Technically giving her, the killer that she needs. Lord of Light's going to LB. So we'll get those buffs in place first. There we go. And then basically, I'm just going to hit Angela, and as soon as we see the meteors start to fall, then we're just going to send everybody else all at once. Tsukiko carries all the damage. You saw the big white numbers across the bottom of the screen. And yeah, she's rocking it. Obviously, you don't need a ton of damage to just kill the boss, but capping it is another story. But I just thought it'd be fun to include the farm team that I'm running here, just to kind of show you guys how I was doing. There you go. And we lean heavily into Tsukiko because she does carry all the damage. Angela's in second place because she takes a lot to stack up. And then everybody else is just kind of there. Lord of Light, wow. Look at you go, dude. But yeah, there we are. There's 3 ways of beating this fight. And hopefully that helps you cap. As far as like substitutions go, you could... I know that one of the things I'm missing on my heavy damage team was Tyvis Spirit for Sky. I've only got 2 copies of it. I've got more copies of Tyvis laying around that I could STMR, but I didn't want to unless I needed to. And so I could give her that, but she doesn't have it. And then, really, honestly, between Sylvie and Tsukiko and Chizuru, if you've got any of those 3, you're probably going to be able to cap the fight. But if you do need other options, you could do like a Roberta Fire team. She has Stone Killer and Fire is one of the weaknesses of the boss. You could do Fravia has her Light, Imbue, and Field, which is really, really nice. Those are options. But, not a ton of good options for Dark. You could do like you could do Dark Imbue from like Have or Dark Imbue from Bulwark, but you're kind of like missing out on some good damage dealing options at that point. I've seen people go as high as like 27 billion damage. I have not done that myself. I've capped out around 17, which is fine with me because the boss's requirement is like 10.7, 10.8. So it's like not that big a deal. But yeah, I thought it was more fun to do the win team. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I know that not everybody's having difficulty with this, but if you are having difficulty with this, or if you just like talking about it, or if you think, oh, I could optimize this by changing this and tweaking that, you know, let me know. I'll be happy to try and take a look at it with you and try and help you make suggestions. Help you make suggestions about what you could change if you're trying to do something similar. But that's what I got for right now. So we'll be back on Thursday for new content night. And tomorrow night, actually, for Tuesday Preppers. So we'll get to see what the news is and then take a look at that together tomorrow. That'll be fun. Until then, you guys be good to each other, take care, and we'll see you around. Thanks so much.